Okay, a good tavach everyone of Freilich and Hanukkah on this fourth night of Hanukkah. Keneged the Arba Imois, that's what the Welt says you should have in mind for the four Imois. So Rivka, Rachel, and Leah. Of course, it's really Keneged the fourth night of the miracle that the oil lit. We are co-sponsored by the Rezepkowitz family in honor of their parents, co-sponsored by Mr. and Mrs. Eddie Chazan, the Refuah Shalema for Shoshana Bas Panina and Simone Bas Rachel, and Klal Yisrael, co-sponsored by Binyamin Rivlin, Lila Nishbas Yitzchak ben Avram Yehuda Alevi, by Berach Goldwasser for Akar Satayv to the Shira and my Refuah Shalema, Moshe Meir ben Esther Fadel, by Shalom Fogel, Lila Nishmas Yaakov Zeb ben Yehuda Aryeh, Rivka Bas Yaakov Yosef, Tzivya Miriam Bas Gad, Yosef ben Siyam ben Yaakov Zev, by Shelley Zeitlin in honor of his children, Eli, Orit, and Ora, and for my Refuah Shalema, Moshe Meir ben Esther Fradel. We want to roll out the red carpet of welcome tonight to my dear Talmud A.B. Spry, who is moved into our community. More of you should do that, who has moved into Fairways, and he's here this evening in person. A royal welcome to you, and you should have bracha v'atzlacha here in your new home, and be'ezus Hashem, be here and then travel with it to Eretz Yisrael for Mashiach Tzidkenu. We want to remind you, Rabbi Say, that we have a Siyum scheduled, Siyum/Mesiba, Chanukah Mesiba, this Monday at 6:30 here in the shul. Anybody that can make it, just come. We're ordering plenty of stuff, but you could call one of our Gedalia Engel or Mark Frankel is involved in it. Again, that's a Siyum this Monday at 6:30. We welcome in Saba and Mo Kushner. Mo hasn't been well for a little bit, but he's back stronger than ever. Mo is a kid brother Mo is only 97. His brother is over 100. Mark Frankel, Stephen Holtzman. Is that Rabbi Kranz? Wow, Rabbi Kranz and Yitzi Fuchs, the dynamic duo. Yeshua Yamansky, Israel Fisher, who is going to do tshuva and come on during the week as well. Mel Zachter, Michal, Jack Warman, Yaakov Warman, Shelley Zeitlin, Barry Cement, Dr. Block, Shimon Klein, Philippe, great to have Philippe, Abe Arbach, Ilya Shutman. Here in the shul we have Reb Halpert, we have Ruvain Shanit, we have A.B. Spry, Michal Avram Chavin, and we have David Helfgott on Kol Lashon. So we are holding two words from on the bottom of Tesamid Beis. Amarava. If, let's say, a person says Ploini Ba'al Ishti, Chatzkel slept with my wife. So Chatzkel did a capital punishment. He had an affair with an Ashes Ish. His wife did as well, but of course he can't testify about his wife. So hu v'achar mitztarfin lahargo. He and another witness, he and Jack, could combine to put to death the man, avaloi laharga, because of course he's not believed to testify about his wife. So the Gemara says, and that means that again we say palginon dibura, that we believe him regarding the paramar, but we don't believe him regarding the wife. So the Gemara says, my kamash malon, what's the chiddush, the palginon dibura, that we split his words? Hainu hach, that's the same thing we said if he said he committed bestiality, if he committed homosexuality, so we kill the person he was with, we don't kill him, because we Adam Karav Eitzel Atzmai, and we believe him about the other person and not about himself, and he doesn't make himself a Rasha. So we already see, we say Palgina Dibura. What's the Chiddush? What's different about this case? Says the Gemara, well, Mao the same, I might have thought that Adam Karav Eitzel Atzmai Amrinan. He's not believed about himself. But Eitzel Ishtay Le Amrinan. I might say that we don't say Adam Karav Eitzel Ishtay, even though we say that Ishtay Kegufay. But maybe over here we say that since we believe him about the man, we believe him about his wife too. Kamash Malan, we don't say that. Another case. What?
He loses the ksuva, I imagine, as well, or not, because he's not believed. The ksuva.
He loses the ksuva to collect.
She will not get the ksuva.
No, she won't get the ksuva. No. V'amarava, ploini baal nara hamurasa. If, let's say, that he testifies that Chatzkel slept with a betrothed maiden. Of course, a betrothed maiden, that's an Issa Skila. So let's say a case where Shmuel and Chaim testify that that Chatzkel slept with an Marasa. And what they want to do over here is they want to give her skila. They want to give her skila. V'huzmu. But then our reliable Barry and Shelley, Barry and Shelley say you couldn't have testified that Suri had an affair because in Muncie, because in that time you were in Dubai. Oh, so then we take Shmuel and Chaim, who were now Eidim Zaymimim, Nerogin, they're put to death. They also, not only did they want her to be put to death, but they also wanted to deprive her of her ksuva. But ve'ein mishalmin mammon. Now, in this case, the reason why they don't pay money is because they didn't identify who the girl was. They just said that Pliny slept with a betrothed maiden, but they didn't identify who it was. So since they didn't identify who it was, they only meant to put to death the paramar. They weren't going to cost the girl the ksuva because they didn't identify the girl anyway. So nerogin ve'ein mishalmin mammon. But if they said bitoy shel Pliny, if they said that Chatzkel slept with the daughter of Dun, so here they were trying to deprive, they were trying to put her to death, and they were also trying to deprive, since she's a Nara, they were trying to deprive her father of the ksuva. V'huzmu, and then Shelley and Barry said, how could you testify you were in Dubai? Nerogim, the witnesses are killed for trying to put the Paramar and the Nara Marasa to death. Or Mishalmim, and they also pay the father the ksuva, because the father would have got the ksuva. But the reason why, even though normally we say, but in this case, it's mamoin lezeh unafashis lezeh. It's money to one and life to another, and there you have to pay where it's not to the same people. V'amar Rava, another case. Pliny Rava Hashar. Chatzkel committed bestiality with an axe. Bestiality is a death sentence. Now the axe is also put to death. However, they didn't identify the axe. They just said that Chatzkel slept with an axe. V'huzmu. And then they were proven to be Eidim Zaymimin. So Nerogim, the Eidim are put to death. The Eimishal Mum, but there's no money to pay. They didn't identify the axe, so no axe is stoned. But if they say Shairai Shal Pliny, if they say that Chatzkel slept with Mark's shar, oh boy. Now Mark is going to be out of shar because it's stoned. That shar is a lot of stakes. That shar is worth $2,000, right? So In that case, v'huzmu, if they were proved to be false, so they wanted to put the one who slept with the ox to death, and they also wanted to deprive Mark of his shar, nerogin u'mishalmim, eidim zaymimim are put to death, and they also have to reimburse Mark for the money that they want to deprive him of the shar, because again, mam lezeh, mefashas lezeh. So the Gemara says, hasul amali. Why do you have to teach me? We already taught that if it's money to one person and life to another, you have to do both. Hainu ha. Says the Gemara, you're right. That case is not really a chiddush, but mishum de kaboy boy ilvei, because they wanted to ask a follow-up question. What's the follow-up question? The boy Rava, Pliny Rava Shoiri Mao. What happens if, let's say, Abi says that Chatzkel committed bestiality with my ox? Now, he's believed to put Chatzkel to death, but is he believed also to put the shar to death? He said, Pliny Rava Shairi. Now, the shar that has act of bestiality is put to death, but it's his shar. So mi amrinan adam karav eitzel atzmai, a person is close to himself, but ve'ein adam karav eitzel mamainai, but he's not close to his money, and therefore we say, since we believe him to put the man to death, we also believe him to put the ox to death. That a person is also carved to his money, and we'll say Palgin Debura, he's believed to put Chatzkel to death for bestiality, but he's not believed about his own ox. Basa de boy hadar pashta. After they made the inquiry, they resolved it. Adam karav eitzel atzma, he's not believed about himself to make himself a rasha, but ve'ein adam karav eitzel mamaynai, and we do say over here, Hawil, that since Abi is believed to put the man to death, he's also believed that the shar is put to death as well. I want to take the opportunity, since we've been joined by so many special people as we started. Berish Gesseman has just joined us, a Freilich and Chanukah. Berish, you were very greatly missed for Shabbos, but it's quite an amazing thing. We had this today, we didn't even have enough room in the hall. And if everybody in the shul would have been here, there's no way we would have fit. Now, we had an Afraf in the shul, and Berish wasn't here, and Reb Blumenfeld wasn't here, and Reb Elia Yaffe wasn't here, and I don't know. There was standing room mamish only. We should have.
But I got to stop so.
We should have him Yetz Hashem in the shul. Many simchas. But anyway, Shimon Deer, it's good to have you join us, and Nachman Chapler, who is greatly missed down here in shul. Nachman, Hashem should make it that you should be able to join us. We're keeping your seat warm for you. Okay. So now the Mishnah said there's a machlokes between the Tanna Kama and Rabbi Yishmael when deliberating makkos. Let's pick a guy, Barry. Barry muzzles his ox, so he has to get flogged, 39 lashes. Do we need a bezdin of 3 or a bezdin of 23? So of course the Tanna Kama says makkos b'shloishim. How do we note that to give malchus you need 3? Amar Rav Huna Amar Krav u'shefatim, and you judge them, and it's in the plural shnayim. So that's 2 judges. Ve'im bezdin shakul, you can't have an even court. Ma'isifan alei anoid echad, we add a 3rd arikan shloishim. Says the Gemara, but it also says v'tztiku v'yirshiu. That should be another 4. So then it should be 7. Elamatav v'tztiku, you declare righteous, that shnayim v'yirshiu, you declare guilty shnayim. So that's 6 together with a shvatim, and you can't have it even. Harikan shiva, it should be a bezdin of 7. Says the Gemara, no, v'tztiku v'yirshiu. Oh, thank you very much. This is A.B. Spry. A Talmud of mine, he moved into the community. He helped build the shul in Staten Island.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rabbi, where are we?
Where are we? In Lakewood. We are on Daf Yud Amid Aleph, and we are holding about 3 lines beyond midway down the Amid. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol niyeh b'dvaro.
GPS.
Maybe you met Shashi before, my wife? Yeah. Oh, it's all right. Plenty. That's right. You ever go back there?
I go every year.
To the same place?
Not for Sukkot, no. I go to the King's Hotel.
So the Gemara says, it says with Stiku and Irshiu, so that should be 7. So the Gemara says, no, this is needed for another limud. Now this is a very interesting Makis Gemara. We know that if 2 witnesses try to do something to someone, and then they're found to be Zaymimim, so we do Kasher Zamam Lasais Le'echav. We do to them what they plotted to do to the defendant. So if they wanted to cost them $1,000, they have to pay $1,000. If they wanted to get them executed, they're executed. The problem is, what happens if we cannot do to the witnesses what they wanted to do to the defendant? What's the case? They testify that a person's parents was a kohen that married a divorcee. So they're testifying that this person is a cholol. Now, if the Eidim are not Kohanim, we can't make them a cholol. So then what do? So the din is, if we cannot be Mekayim Kasher Zomam, literally, then we give them malchus. Then we give them lashes. So the Gemara says, we know that from the words of Itztiku v'Irshiu. Let's see. How do we know Eidim Zaymimim that we do to the witnesses what they intended to do to the defendant? Says the Gemara, what do you mean, how do you know? That's the parasha of Eidim Zaymimim. How do we know when we cannot do literal hazama that we give them malchus? We declare righteous the righteous person, v'rshiu es harasha, we declare wicked the wicked person, and it says v'hoya im bin hakois harasha, and then we give malchus to the rasha. That's the parasha of malchus. Now, what does malchus have to do with v'hitztiku es hatzadik? Mishum dehitztiku es hatzadik v'yeshiu es harasha, because we declare one person righteous and one person guilty, v'hoya bin hakois harasha. What does it have to tell us about the tzaddik for? It should just say, if somebody is a rasha, if Barry is a rasha, we give him malchus. What do we have to say that Dr. Black is a tzaddik? What does that have to do with Barry's malchus? Ella, no, it's talking about Eidim Shershiu es hatzadik. It's talking about that Irving and Mark came and said that Stephen is a rasha. And then Ruvain and Berish come and say, V'tztiku es hatzadik d'meikar. They say, no, Stephen is a tzaddik. Mark and Irving testified. Mark and Irving were in Dubai. V'shavinu lahanach rishon. They make Mark and Irving wicked. So then, if they can't do hazama, like in the case where we said that they're not kohanim, so they can't become a cholol, v'hoyim bin hakois harasha, so they get malchus. Says the Gemara, what do we need a pasuk for? They get malchus because they're over the lav of loisana eight shakar. You shouldn't give false testimony. So you get malchus for giving false testimony. No, those are words. Words are not a maisa. So mishum they have a lav shein by maisa. That's a lav that doesn't have a physical act. The kol lav shein by maisa ain't like in a lav. That's why we need the drasha from Vitztiku and Virishiu. Mishum Rabbi Yishmael Aymin be'esrim b'shloisha. Rabbi Yishmael says that to give Malchus, you need the small circuit Supreme Court of 23. My time to Rabbi Yishmael. What's the reason, Rabbi Yishmael? Amar Abaya, it's Gzeir Shava. Asi Rasha, Mechayv Mises. We learn out of Rasha, Mechayv Mises. Ksiv Hazcha by Malchus, Vaya bin Hakas of Rasha. Ksiv Hazam, and it says by capital case Asher Rasha Lamos. Rasha to die. Malahalan Besim Mishleish. Afghan Besim Mishleish. That's how Rabbi Yishmael says. You need a small circuit Supreme Court of 23 for Malchus or Gzeir Shava, Rasha. Rava says no. There's a different reason. You know, we have a klal, Mali Kotla, Kula Mali Kotla Palga. What's the difference if you kill all of him or you kill part of him? The Gemara wants to say that makis is a type of death. The person doesn't die, but we beat him close to death. So it says the Gemara, Rava Amar Malchus b'Mekai Misai Medes. Malchus is a lesser type of death. Oh, it's in the category of death. As we welcome in Dr. Moshe to shower for our 25th Zoomer of the evening. I know there's a lot of Hanukkah parties and everything tonight, so I thank everybody for weaving around their parties. I'm also weaving around parties. Amar Rav Achabrei Rav Ravashi Ihochi. If makis, lashes, is really a type of death, then umdan alamali. The din is that we get a doctor to evaluate how much he could take. Why do we evaluate? Limchai, if it's a type of death, beat him the 39 lashes. V'imoyas lemus, if he dies, let him die. Anyway, it's supposed to be instead of death. Amalei, amakra, because the pasuk says about lashes, V'nikle achicha leinecha. Let your brother be demeaned before your eyes. And since it uses the term your brother, that's somebody that's alive. Ki machis, when you beat him, agaba de chaye machis. You're supposed to do it on somebody that's alive. Call him your brother. Elohad Desanya, we're going to learn this extensively in Mitzvah Hashem in Makis. Elohad Desanya amdu lekabel esrim. If, let's say, they evaluate that he could only take 20 lashes, the din is we give lashes only in groups of 3. So we give him 18. We only give in groups of 3. And therefore, the kamahain, if we evaluate that he could take 20, what do we give him? We give him tamnei sore. We give him 18. Asks the Gemara, I don't understand. Give him 21. Barry says, I got out my kvitlach. Give him 21. Right? First thing he said when he came on was 11 on. I'm just joking. Barry doesn't even know what kvitlach is. So anyway, says the Gemara, Limchaye esim v'chada. Give him 21. And if he dies with the 21st one, v'chi mayis b'achada, that's okay. Lamus. Dahaki machis, because when they gave the 21st one, agaba dechaya kamachis. He was alive when they gave him. So if he dies afterwards, he was a chicha when he gave him. Very nice. Amalei amakra, the pasuk says, v'nikla achicha leinecha. That means that afterwards he should be demeaned. And he should therefore be alive after you do it. When he's demeaned afterwards, he should still be alive. Now, the Mishnah then goes on to say, the making the Kiddush HaChodesh is with 3 dayanim. in the olden days, before the fixed calendar of Hillel Nasi, the month was determined whether it's Rosh Chodesh is on the 30th day, and the previous month was a chasur of 29 days, or Rosh Chodesh is on the 31st day, and the previous month was a moleh. That was determined by Bezdin. So the Mishnah says, Iber HaChodesh b'shloisha. Now technically this would mean that if we make the month a pregnant month, a month of 30 days, so then declaring the 31st day, Rosh Chodesh, we need 3. But that really doesn't make sense. Because if we make the previous month 30 days, then the 31st day automatically becomes Rosh Chodesh, because it's either the 30th day or the 31st day. So the Gemara asks, Chishuv loiketani, it doesn't say calculating. Kiddush loiketani, it doesn't say sanctify. Ela iber, it says making it a pregnant month. That means that the month before is 30 days and Rosh Chodesh is on the 31st day. So that the Gemara says, Loi likdisha, then why do you need 3? If it's on the 31st day, that's automatic. Umemela laber, the 31st day becomes automatically Rosh Chodesh. Amar Abaye, so Abaye says you're right. You got to amend it. It shouldn't say Iber HaChodesh. Tani Kiddush HaChodesh. It means if the month is a 29-day month and you're calling the 30th day as Rosh Chodesh, so that you need Kiddush HaChodesh with 3. And Tanya Nami Hachi, Kiddush HaChodesh, the sanctification of the new moon on the 30th day, and the Iber Hashana, and the intercalating of a year, adding an extra month, B'shloisha Divrei Amei. Says Rava, okay, it's a nice pshat, as we welcome Eddie Chazan. Eddie, it's good to have you joining us. Eddie is now, I believe, in Dallas. He's...
Yeah, thank you,
yeah, I knew it. He was in Kew Garden Hills before Shabbos, now he's in Dallas. And he just had 2 stents put in, but that doesn't stop him from jetting around the globe.
What put in?
Well, 2 and 2, right?
2 and 2. To jump around better.
And you did.
Rabbi,
You
with
did.
the Eidim Zlomimus, does the Beit Din Shel Mala still have a say on the false witnesses if they get Malchus?
What?
Does the Beit Din Shel Mala?
No, it's machapa for them.
They fully pay in this world.
Yes.
If they're really
With tshuva.
okay.
With
Thank you.
tshuva and mechila from the other people.
This particular question actually directly affects an event in my life. Thank you very much.
Okay. Now, the Gemara says, but it's a very nice pshat, but it doesn't say Kiddush HaChodesh in the Mishnah. It says Iber HaChodesh. It's very nice to just change the words. Rava is a purist. Rava Iber Kitani. It says making a pregnant month. Ela Rava Kidesh B'Yom Iber, if you sanctify the Chodesh on the pregnant day. That means if you sanctify, what's the pregnant day? The 30th day. That's the extra day, right? The month could either be 29 days or 30 days. So Kidesh B'Yom Iber, if you sanctify the month on the 30th day and declare that Rosh Chodesh, then you need to sanctify it. Achar Iber, but if you sanctify it on the 31st day, Leka Kiddush, and Omani, Rabbi Lazar Reb Tzadiki, that's the opinion of Rabbi Lazar Reb Tzadik, the Tani Rabbi Lazar Reb Tzadik Omer, Im loy nira bizmana, if the moon is not seen on the 30th day, then Ein Mekachinoisai, then we don't have to declare the 31st day Rosh Chodesh, Shekvar Kitshur B'Shamayim, because that's the only other choice, so it's sanctified by heaven. Rav Nachman Amar, there are a lot of different pshatim over here. Rav Nachman Amar, he says a big kiddush. He says, Kiddush Achar Ibur B'Shloisha. When do you need to sanctify it? If you're sanctifying the 31st day as Rosh Chodesh. B'Yom Ibur, if you're sanctifying the 30th day as Rosh Chodesh, Leka Kiddush. Then you don't do Kiddush. Then we assume, since they didn't make a sanctification, that it's the 30th day. Omani, and that's a very big mechudesh dik pshat. Plimai, the Tanya Plimai Aimer Bismanai, if it was cited on the 30th day, a Mekachnai say, we don't declare it Rosh Chodesh. Shaloi Bismanai, if it's on the 31st day, Mekachnai say, then we sanctify it. Ravashi Amar Lo'ilam Chishuv Ketani. Remember I told you that the moon rotates every 29 and a half days and 1,080 chalakim. By the way, a chelik, just to, you heard them today call out chalakim. A chelik is 3 1/3 seconds, to be exact. So the moon rotates every 29 and a half days and 1,080 chalakim. Now we can't have months of half days, so we have generally 6 29-day months and 6 30-day months. Sometimes we'll have up to 8 of one of the types. It has to do with all kinds of astronomical calculations. And Rav Ashi Amar La'olam Chishuv Ketani. It's talking about calculating the month. My Ibur, Chishuv the Ibur. The calculation that goes in whether we should make it a big month or not. The ID the Kabbalah Misnei Ibur Shana, since it talks about intercalating the year with a leap year, Taninami Ibur Chodesh. It talks about an Ibur Chodesh, but really it's the deliberation about the month. Says the Gemara, Chishuv Chodesh in, only the calculation needs 3, Kiddush Chodesh Lai, but to sanctify the new moon, we never need a Bezdin. Mani, that's the Mechudesh Dik Pshat of Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer says there's no Kiddush HaChodesh. The Tanya, Rabbi Eliezer, I'm a Bein Bismanai, Bein Shaloi Bismanai, whether the month is done on the 30th day, whether the month is done on the 31st day, Ein Mekachin. We don't have to say Kaddish, Kaddish, Kaddish. Shenema v'kidashtem eshnas ha'chamishim shana. You sanctify the year of the Yovel. Shanim ata mekadosh v'yata mekadosh chadash. Now, let's go now to the leap year. We know that we sometimes add an extra order. That's going to be what we're going to discuss for the rest of the evening. Reb Shimon Gamliel Leimer b'shloisha Tanya. Keitzad Amar Reb Shimon Gamliel. Reb Shimon Gamliel says we start with 3, we deliberate with 5, and then we conclude the leap year with 7. B'shloisha maschilan u'b'chamisha noisav noisim. With 5 we deliberate. V'goyim b'shiva. If when they sit 3, if one of the judges says we need to deliberate, and 2 say, nah, we don't even need to deliberate. This is not a year for a leap year. Then batal yachid b'miyuchay. Then we just break up the meeting. If 2 say we need to deliberate, and 1 says we don't need to deliberate, they add another 2, so now we have 5. They deliberate whether they should make a leap year. If 2 say we need to, 3 say no, we don't need it, and we break up the meeting. But if 3 say we need to make a leap year, we add another 2, she'eina minyan pachas mishiva, because we never make the proclamation of a leap year with less than 7. Now, ask the Gemara, 3, 5, and 7, what's it based on? Hani shloisha v'chamisha v'shiva keneged me. So pligi bar Rabbi Yitzchak bar Nachmani v'chad de'imei. Rabbi Yitzchak bar Nachmani and one that was with him argue about it. And who's the one that's with him? Rab Shimon ben Pazi. V'imri la Rab Shimon ben Pazi v'chad de'imei. Rab Shimon ben Pazi and somebody was with him. Omanu Rabbi Yitzchak bar Nachmani. They argue what's the symbolism of 3, 5, and 7. Chad Omer keneged birchas kahan. The words in birchas kahan. The first phrase, Yivarecha Hashem v'yishmerecha, has 3 words. The second phrase, Yah Hashem panav elecha v'chuneka, has 5. And the third phrase, Yisa Hashem panav elecha v'yasem l'cha shalom, has 7. So it's Keneged Birchas Kahanim. V'chad Amar, this is a national declaration, and it's a royal meeting. Right? These are the Gedolei Yisrael, Man Malkei Rabbanon. So it's Keneged, since this is agreed with by the Bezdin Shomayla, and the Bezdin Shomayla follows the trappings of the royal court. So Shloisha Keneged Shomrei Asaf, 3 correspond to the royal guards of the threshold. Chamisha Meroi Pnei HaMelech, 5 are Keneged, the royal entourage mentioned in Malachim, and Shiva Raya Pnei HaMelech, and 7 is connected to royal entourage that it says by Achashverosh. Indeed, Tani Rav Yosef, Hani Shloisha v'Chamisha v'Shiva Shloisha connected Shemei Asaf, the guards of the threshold, Chamisha Raya Pnei HaMelech in Malachim, Shiva Raya Pnei HaMelech by Achashverosh. So Abaya wondered why Rav Yosef never taught them this significance of 3, 5, and 7. Until now, why didn't the master teach this to us? So this is an interesting thing. The Rebbe doesn't know unless the Talmidim ask. That's what it says. Lo yabayshin lamad. One who's embarrassed doesn't learn. Amalahu lo yadana detzvichiso. I didn't know that you needed it. Mi ba'isu minoi milsa. Did you ask me? Okay, we're just going to pause a moment to change the channel over here.